Welcome, Seeker.
I told you the chakras were colorful wheels of light, simple energy centers neatly stacked along your spine, each glowing like a rainbow bead on the thread of your body. But what if I told you that's only a fraction of the truth? What if the popular image of the chakras, the neat diagrams, the posters in yoga studios, the sanitized New Age interpretations, is little more than a modern echo of something far older, far stranger, and far more dangerous? Because buried beneath the polished surface of Instagram spirituality lies an ancient system, not just of energy control, but of spiritual evolution, of consciousness manipulation, even cosmic power. A system whispered about in secretive mystery schools, encoded in the forgotten symbols of ancient temples, and fiercely protected by those who understood its true potential and its true peril. You see, the chakras aren't just about feeling balanced or raising your vibration. They were never designed to be reduced to mere self-help jargon. In their original form, they were gateways, locks and keys that control the most primal forces within you and beyond you. They represent the ascent from base survival to godlike awareness, the journey from animal instinct to divine perception, the path from earthbound creature to awakened being. And like any true path of power, they come with shadows, with secrets, with truths most are never told. In this video, we'll peel back the layers of misunderstanding. We'll journey into the forgotten origins of the chakras, explore their hidden symbolism, and uncover what few dare to say out loud. The chakras are not toys. They are ancient mechanisms of transformation. And when you know how to work with them properly, your reality will never be the same. But tread carefully, because awakening them is not just about light, it's about facing the dark as well. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at the chakras the same way again. Long before the chakra charts adorned yoga studios, long before the West packaged these ancient symbols into neat graphics for meditation apps, the concept of energy centers was whispered across civilizations, cloaked in symbolism and guarded by the initiated. The earliest known written reference to the chakras emerges from the Vedic traditions of ancient India, dating back over 3,000 years. But even those texts, like the Upanishads and Tantras, hint that this knowledge was already ancient, preserved through oral transmission, veiled in metaphors, protected from the unprepared. But here's what they don't tell you. The chakras were never merely 7 spinning wheels of light floating neatly along your spine. In the original esoteric traditions, the chakras were conceived as subtle vortices of power, yes, but also as profound archetypal stages of consciousness, gateways to hidden realms, and tests on the soul's journey toward enlightenment. In tantric philosophy, these energy centers weren't about casual self-improvement. They were integral to practices so potent they were kept hidden, only revealed to those deemed worthy or ready. The symbols themselves speak volumes. The lotus flowers associated with each chakra, for instance, aren't just decorative. They represent the unfolding of awareness, the blooming of dormant potential, but also the peril of misalignment. Across Egypt, Tibet, and even echoes within Western Hermeticism, we find parallel systems, veiled teachings that describe the human body as a temple, a ladder, or even a cosmic map. In Kundalini Yoga, the chakras are the stations along the serpent's ascent. The coiled energy at the base of the spine represents raw, untapped primal force. When awakened, it spirals upward, piercing through each chakra, igniting dormant faculties, and unlocking the potential to transcend ordinary human perception. But this awakening is no mere relaxation exercise. It is an initiation, a dangerous, ecstatic, and at times chaotic metamorphosis. Ancient texts like the Shat Chakra Nirupana or the Hatha Yoga Pradipika never described this process as easy or universally safe. And yet, much of this knowledge faded, diluted over centuries by conquest, dogma, and the commercial sanitization of spiritual traditions. In the West, the chakra system became stripped of its shadows, its raw power, its sacred danger. It was repackaged into tidy, marketable fragments, convenient, harmless, and entirely disconnected from its original esoteric depth. But the truth remains, encoded in the forgotten verses, hidden in temple carvings, whispered by those who still guard the old ways. The chakras are not ornaments. They are not decorations for your aura. They are ancient engines of transformation, capable of awakening the divine or unraveling the mind. And only when seen through this lens does their true significance finally come into focus. To truly understand the chakras, you must first abandon the idea that they are merely floating balls of colored light, arranged along your spine like spiritual Christmas decorations. The ancients never described them this way. The modern imagery, while visually appealing, is a reduction, a translation of something far more complex into bite-sized, palatable symbols for the modern mind. In truth, the chakras are living thresholds, dynamic intersections where the physical, energetic, and spiritual layers of your being collide and either harmonize or fracture. Imagine your being not as a simple body with a soul, but as a multi-layered temple, an intricate architecture of flesh, energy, and consciousness. The chakras are like gates within this temple, each one governing not just your physiology, but your perception, your emotions, your fears, your desires, your very sense of reality. The first of these gates is known as Muladhara, the root chakra. But forget the posters showing a neat red wheel. Muladhara is the foundation of your entire existence. It governs your sense of safety, survival, primal instinct. And when blocked or imbalanced, it manifests as anxiety, instability, and deep-rooted fear. But here's what no one tells you. Each chakra isn't just an isolated energy point. They are interdependent, symbiotic, and reactive to your inner world. Your thoughts, your traumas, your beliefs, all of these sculpt the condition of these centers. The second, Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, governs creation, sensuality, and flow. But beyond mere sexuality, it holds the power of alchemy, the ability to transmute raw emotion into art, pain into wisdom, desire into spiritual momentum. Then comes Manipura, the solar plexus, power, will, the fire within. But when unbalanced, this center burns erratically, manifesting as control issues, insecurity, or explosive anger. Notice how these aren't just spiritual concepts. They bleed into your daily life, your relationships, your very sense of self. And as we ascend the energetic ladder, the stakes grow higher, for with each chakra, you approach the edge of greater power and greater responsibility. Anahata, the heart chakra, is more than the domain of love and compassion. It is the crucible where duality dissolves, where opposites meet, and the alchemy of unity begins. But few ever reach this space consciously. Fewer still master it. Vishuddha, the throat chakra, governs communication, yes, but also truth, unfiltered and raw. Many fear this center not because they cannot speak, but because they cannot bear to face their own unspoken truths. And so the chakras continue, not just as glowing wheels, but as ancient psychological gates, each demanding awareness, mastery, and sometimes confrontation. What most spiritual circles gloss over is that true chakra work isn't all bliss and light. It is a dismantling, a peeling away of illusions, a reckoning with buried shadows. The energies these centers regulate are volatile. They can heal or disrupt, elevate or unravel, depending on how you approach them. But here's the hidden blessing when you begin to understand these gates, to work with them consciously. Your reality begins to shift. Subtle at first, a clearer mind, a more grounded presence, heightened intuition. But over time, the effects deepen, revealing what the sages always knew. You are not a passive being moving through the world. You are a living temple of power, waiting to be unlocked. And if this is already stirring questions within you, good. In the next section, we'll go deeper. We'll uncover the hidden aspects of the upper chakras, the myths that cloud their understanding, and the forgotten dangers and potentials that lie dormant within you. But before we venture further, I invite you, if these ancient truths resonate, subscribe to the channel so you never miss the secrets hidden beneath the surface, and share your thoughts in the comments below. The path of awakening begins with curiosity, and curiosity is the first key. If the lower chakras anchor you to the earth, to survival, desire, and power, then the upper chakras are the celestial keys, the subtle gateways to realms most never glimpse. And some were never meant to. But tread carefully, because the higher you climb, the more treacherous the path becomes. Let's begin with Ajna, the third eye chakra, arguably the most misunderstood of them all. Popular culture paints Ajna as a spiritual shortcut. Awaken your third eye, they say, and you'll unlock psychic powers overnight. Visions, clairvoyance, even mystical enlightenment. But here's what they don't tell you. The third eye is not simply about seeing hidden things. It is about perceiving truth stripped of illusion. And the first illusion it often strips away is the one you hold about yourself. When truly activated, Ajna can dismantle your ego's constructs, revealing the uncomfortable, unfiltered reality of your inner world. It is not always pleasant. It is not always welcome. Many who rush to open their third eye, without grounding, without preparation, find themselves lost in delusion, spiritual arrogance, or worse, psychological fragmentation. This is why, in ancient mystery schools, access to higher chakra work was forbidden to those who had not yet mastered the lower gates, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus. Without stability, without emotional maturity, the awakening of higher centers becomes a perilous gamble. Above Ajna resides Sahasrara, the crown chakra, the thousand-petaled lotus, the point where the individual dissolves into the infinite. Enlightenment, transcendence, divine unity, words we casually toss around, unaware of their true implications. But the ancients taught, to awaken Sahasrara is to die before you die, to shed your limited self, to dissolve the illusion of separation, not as a poetic idea, but as a lived, often shattering experience. And here's the paradox few mention. The true awakening of the upper chakras does not inflate your identity. It obliterates it. It replaces the need to be spiritual with the raw, unsettling realization that you are not separate from the fabric of existence itself. It is humbling. It is terrifying. It is liberating. But this is why the chakra system has been diluted over time, made safe, marketable, stripped of its sacred danger. The sanitized, rainbow-hued posters? Convenient, harmless. But the full system? It's a roadmap of transformation. And transformation is rarely neat or easy. Here's a hidden insight most never consider. The chakras are not linear. They do not activate in perfect sequence like a checklist. They are interwoven, dynamic, and often cyclical. You may awaken aspects of your heart chakra while still wrestling with root chakra instability. You may glimpse intuitive insights from Ajna while your solar plexus is clouded by self-doubt. True chakra work is not about rushing to activate them. It's about cultivating balance, awareness, and integration. And just as each center governs aspects of your consciousness, they also correspond to archetypes, planetary energies, even the alchemical elements. For example, the root resonates with earth, grounding, survival, stability. The sacral flows with water, emotion, creativity, sensuality. The solar plexus burns with fire, willpower, transformation. The heart breathes with air, love, unity, expansion. The throat, the bridge of ether, expression, vibration, truth. The third eye mirrors light, perception, clarity, insight. And the crown dissolves into the void, pure consciousness, beyond form. When seen through this lens, the chakras are no longer abstract. They become elemental, visceral, embodied. And here's the greatest secret. The chakra system was never meant to make you more spiritual. It was designed to make you whole, to harmonize your fragmented self into a conscious, awakened being, anchored in the physical, yet open to the infinite. In the next part, we'll move from theory to practice, real-world techniques, rituals, and insights that can help you work with these ancient gateways in a grounded, safe, and transformative way. Because knowledge without practice is just decoration for the mind. Understanding the chakras is one thing, but knowledge, unanchored to action, is little more than spiritual entertainment. The true initiates, those ancient seekers who walked the path before us, understood the chakras are not passive decorations. They are living mechanisms. But only through conscious practice do they awaken, align, and reveal their power. So where does one begin? Not with rushing to open the higher centers, but by tending to the foundation. Start with Muladhara, the root. Without grounding, all else crumbles. A simple, ancient exercise. Sit comfortably, spine erect, eyes closed. Place your awareness at the base of your spine, the perineum area. With each inhale, visualize drawing energy from the earth, dense, red, stabilizing. With each exhale, imagine that energy anchoring you, rooting you like an ancient tree. Do this daily for 5 to 10 minutes. It may seem simple, but consistency awakens dormant stability. Your nervous system calms. Your presence deepens. The foundation strengthens. Once stable, attention can shift upward to Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra. Here, movement is key. Dance, fluid stretching. Even conscious hip rotations activate this center, unlocking stored emotion, reawakening creative flow. But remember, it's not about forcing anything open. It's about listening, cultivating sensitivity to the subtle. For the solar plexus, core strengthening practices, yoga postures like plank or boat pose, build not just physical strength, but energetic confidence. You'll notice, over time, your willpower sharpen, your inner fire steady. The heart chakra requires a different approach, vulnerability. One of the most potent, if overlooked, practices is simply this. Sit quietly, place a hand on your chest. Recall a moment of pure, unconditional love, even if brief. Let that sensation expand within you. This gentle cultivation opens anahata, allowing unity and compassion to rise naturally. For Vishuddha, your voice is your tool. Even humming, chanting, or speaking your truth in small ways, especially the things you've been afraid to say, gradually clears energetic blockages here. And for Ajna, the third eye, forget the popular shortcuts. No crystals glued to your forehead. Instead, practice stillness. Meditate with your gaze slightly lifted, eyes closed, as if peering through the space between your brows. Observe without expectation. Over time, perception sharpens, not through force, but through surrender. Finally, the crown chakra, Sahasrara, awakens not through effort, but through quiet receptivity, spending time in nature, silent contemplation, gratitude. These humble practices open you to the vast, unspoken realms beyond the mind. But beware the pitfalls. The greatest mistake is spiritual impatience, chasing activation, forcing experiences, seeking power over wisdom. The ancient masters taught that the chakras unfold like a lotus, in their own time, through steady cultivation. And the journey is not always comfortable. Shadows rise, old wounds surface, doubts creep in. But this too is sacred, for true chakra work is not escape, it is transformation, with patience, awareness, humility, The chakras awaken as they were always meant to, as gateways to your fullest potential, grounded, embodied, and illuminated from within. In the final section, we'll weave all this together, and I'll leave you with a final reflection to stir your curiosity even further. The chakras are not ornaments. They are not status symbols for the spiritually curious. They are ancient, intricate gateways, woven into the very fabric of your being, quietly waiting, watching until the moment you are ready to meet them. Not with force, not with borrowed symbols or superficial affirmations, but with humility, with courage, with reverence for the power they conceal. Because here's the truth most won't tell you. The chakra system is not about ascending into the clouds and escaping reality. It is about descending fully into yourself, unlocking, layer by layer, the hidden architecture of your mind, your body, your soul. It is about holding both your shadows and your light, your primal instincts and your highest aspirations, and walking the tightrope between them with awareness. And as each gate awakens, as the energies stir and flow, something shifts. The world doesn't change. You change. Your fears lose their grip. Your perception sharpens. Your presence deepens. And reality, the one you've known all your life, begins to reveal its hidden seams, the unseen currents beneath the surface. The question now is simple, yet profound. Will you walk that path? Will you engage with these ancient mechanisms not as decoration, but as tools of transformation? Or will they remain dormant, their potential locked away, waiting for the day you finally choose to awaken? If this resonates, if this stirred something ancient and half-forgotten within you, then I invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to the channel. Share your reflections below, because this unveiling is only the beginning. There are deeper mysteries to uncover, greater truths buried beneath the surface, and together we'll explore them, one forgotten secret at a time. The ancient gates are opening. The only question is, will you step through?